Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm installing a new dryer and washer here in the garage. Over here on the dryer, I ran into a different problem. So once everything was connected, both to the line and to the dryer over here, I tested to see if there was any leaks. And all I did was just add water and a little bit of dish soap or Dawn, whatever you want to call it, and let's make some bubbles. So once they're in here, check it out. I mean, I'm no professional, I'm not licensed or anything like that, so keep that in mind, but I do like to use this method. So as you can see, it's got a ton of bubbles. Now I can squeeze the bottle. Well, let me do it from the top. So you squeeze the bottle and it gives me some soap or bubbles. So I got on this side, so I cover everything so I can see if there's any leaks. Now they do sell a product that's made for this, so you can see if there are any leaks, but I like using my bubbles. See, everything's covered. All right, so the problem that I ran into over here is that even though it's connected, I am getting a leak. It's kind of hard to see, but in there's bubbles being created. And that's really weird because it's coming from down here or somewhere in here. Oh, see, there you go. So this thing is leaking. So I am going to replace it. So my connection on this side is good. It's not leaking. It's this old, I don't know, on and off switch that is leaking. So I will replace it, even though it's just a little bit. And yeah, so I did the same thing to this side, and no bubbles from there. All right, so when you see your gas meter box, whatever it's called, you'll see a lot of different knobs and things that you can turn, or that looks like you can turn them and stuff. But the only one you got to worry about is the one that goes before this thing right here. I guess it regulates how much gas or the pressure of gas that goes into your house. So right now, since this is going vertically, meaning up and down or parallel in the direction of the pipe, it is currently on. But to turn it off, all I have to do is put this in here and turn. And there it is. As you can see, now it's going horizontally from left to right. And that's pretty much it. So right now it's off. Just keep in mind that since you turn off the gas, anything that has a pilot or has a little flame still running or running at all times, like the water heater, you will need to turn those back on. All right, so two reasons why I want to replace it. When you saw the bubbles coming out the bottom, it was turned off, but when I turn it on, more gas spills from the bottom of this little adapter or piece, valve. So that's one reason why I want to replace it. Now I already turned off the gas because I am going to work with it, but here's another reason why I want to replace it. If you see right here, it hits it. There we go. So it does hit. Same thing if I want to turn it off. See, it scrapes. So I don't like that. So there we go. So it could be a pain. So I'm gonna mess with it right now, but hopefully I don't break anything else. All right, here we go. So I only have one of these. These are pretty cool because depending on if you hold it like this or you hold it like this, it does clamp on to this pipe right here. But I always forget which side is which. See, so if I go one way, hold on. See, so if I go one way, it'll just keep spinning. But if I go the other way, you see, it locks into place. Whereas the other way, it keeps spinning. So the reason I'm going to use two of them, well, I only have one of these, is because if I just go straight for this piece, something's gonna come loose in the inside or it's gonna break. And if that happens, you know, if it was water, no big deal. You know, you may mess up your drywall, your wall, you know, get it replaced, little flooding, no big deal. But since it's gas, something goes wrong in there, you know, your whole house can catch on fire, and that's a different story. So hopefully this works. I'm applying pressure with my leg. So it turns this way, this one clockwise. And with this one, I wish I had a bigger one, counterclockwise. So let's see if this works out. Hopefully nothing breaks or I'm screwed. Alright, so this was too small for me to be able to apply enough pressure. So what I did, I grabbed this metal leg of a chair. Now I have something bigger to apply pressure on, and you'll see that it's a lot easier. There we go. Oh wow. Well, it's like rusted or something. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna clean it off real quick. Because I don't want it to get stuck inside the dryer. Yeah, I don't know. But I guess it was leaking from somewhere on the edges right here. So yeah, that's the old. Time to put the new one in. So all I'm doing is getting rid of any muck or residue, debris, anything that might be in the little grooves. I don't know what they're called. Threads. So remember, yellow ones for gas, the white ones for water. I heard you can use either one on each other. It's just that this is thicker, you know. But just do your own research to see what you feel more comfortable with. But just stick to, you know, yellow gas, white water. All right. Make sure it fits. Cool. Man, I'm already breaking it before I get to use it. And the thread, putting it on, it's pretty simple. I mean, you don't need a whole lot. But this is probably too much. You'll see. So now, it does matter the way or the direction you wrap this in. just keep that in mind, because see, I'm wrapping it, I guess, clockwise, the direction that I'm going to thread it on, because if it was to be the other way, as I'm threading this on, it'll undo this, what is it called? Pipe thread seal tape. All right, so just make sure you thread it on in the direction that you're going to screw on your piece. That looks good, and you'll be able to tell if it's enough or not. If it's too much, this will sort of come undone, or it will strip off. If it's not enough, this will go in pretty easy. So you'll see. All right, let me add a little bit more. Oh, there it goes again. All right, so you can tell where it got smashed in. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more. Now I can feel the pressure. Now this one, I don't need to, oh man, I don't think it matters. I guess the preference, if it's pointed up or any other direction, or whichever way you have access to this. So let's see where it gets tight. Okay. That should do it. Now all right, so let me do this one real quick. Oh man. All right, it doesn't fit. So I need an adapter. All right, so I had to go to Home Depot. I bought this little adapter, or fitting. So this should take care of it. Now this one should go in pretty easy. So it looks like everything's okay. The last thing you got to do is turn the gas back on and then check it for leaks. Oh, you heard that? All right, moment of truth. Time to check to see if there's any leaks. And keep in mind that the more connectors you put onto whatever you're doing, the higher of a chance that there might be a leak. So that looks good. Man, I like these bubbles because they cover everything. That way you know for sure if there's anything wrong. All right, it looks like my job here is done, and that's it. I don't see any bubbles coming out or any bubbles being made. And that pretty much wraps it up. Hopefully you learned something productive from this. Just keep in mind that a small little project can become a mission, especially if for some reason you don't have the right pieces, or you gotta go buy them, and there goes your time, and so on and so on and so on. Other than that, that's it to the washer and dryer. Thanks everyone.